the chains and I'm flying to the sky. Pretty soon I'll be home. I'll be home. I'll be home. I've been breathing a little bit easier, just following my heart instead of trying to please her. Can't take for granted the things in life that matter, just like Cinderella ends in happy ever after. Now that I'm free, just gonna breathe. Let me be, I'll be the man that I'm gonna be right now. I can make it on my own. Set me free, break the chains and I'll fly to the sky. Pretty soon I'll be home. I'll be home. All the contests, the games I played, my lesson learned and the price I had to pay, it doesn't matter anymore. Here's my life, it's a life worth. Back to Madhouse TV. I'm Dan Reardon, co-hosting with my gorgeous co-host Alicia Stern. Welcome to Rendezvous.
Thank you. Welcome you. Welcome also.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I just had like a moment when he said I was gorgeous. I just got all sweaty and I'm like, oh my God, it's been a long time since a hot guy told me I was gorgeous, you know? You're making me nervous, Dan. Yeah. But we are here now with Augusta and Lorinda. Now, Lorinda, you're Augusta's PR rep for her charity, right?
Yes.
How did you guys get involved with each other?
I was actually introduced to Augusta through a mutual business client, and then also a friend at the time, Sandra Radner. She's with a law firm, and she felt that I was able to help Augusta, and that's how we met. We met in my office at the time, and we've been working together ever since.
Right, now, you founded the World Adhesion Foundation?
Yes,
Okay.
we're the first nonprofit in the world for this disorder. And scar tissue is so devastating on so many levels. One, the doctors really don't tell you about it when you're going to have surgery. And then if you have pain after surgery, they'll say, oh, you'll have pain on your side or whatever. They'll say, oh, it's just adhesions and it'll go away. And
I need to cut you off. When you say adhesions, can you explain that? Because I know, I think of adhesions, I think of scar tissue, right? Is that
tape? Or sometimes people will go, adhesions, they'll think of duct tape.
Well, that was my
glue.
Yeah.
Glue, right.
Good. Please clarify for us.
Exactly. So, basically what it is the body's normal response to heal. So what it'll do is it'll send little fibers out, and sometimes those fibers can actually grow nerve endings, and blood supply. So they grow over time, and it looks actually like a rubber band, which I'm going to hand to you. Our little supports.
Thank you.
And they grow nerve endings and blood supply. So what happens is they actually will attach themselves. Think of Spider-Man, and it'll actually grow like this, and it attaches itself to the organs. It'll attach itself to major organs and can cause bowel obstructions, infertility, and all sorts of trouble. So, and unfortunately, it's not being addressed really with the surgeons or your family doctors. And my goal is to bring this awareness around because I've been suffering with it for over 20 years, and it has more or less destroyed my life. And I never wanted another living soul to go through what I did.
Yeah. Now, when we first came back to camera before we cut to commercial, Dan was asking me why you started the foundation, and I said to Dan, I'm going to let you tell everybody how this actually, what was your experience that made you start this phenomenal foundation?
I started it, I was suffering with, I had major surgery where I lost three organs due to a tumor on the tail of the pancreas. And I lost the spleen, the gallbladder, and the tail of the pancreas at that time. I was in my 20s. And I was fine for 10 years. And then all of a sudden I got hit with a bowel obstruction. And out of the blue. And then it kept coming back 6 months later, coming back.
After each surgery.
After every surgery. So finally, I think it was after like my 6th or 7th surgery that I had a doctor that said my bowel was partially obstructed, and he said he couldn't work on me anymore. And then he just basically threw me away and said, go to Johns Hopkins, go, somewhere. He had no information for me, absolutely none. And I, for a year and a half, couldn't eat anything solid because it would come back up because it was so blocked. And I did research. This is when the computers were just starting to come into the homes. And so basically I found a doctor that would perform this. He had performed the surgery. And then 6 months later, I ended up in another hospital in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and had a surgery for over 12 hours. And he goes in with a laparoscope and cuts these all down. And then I ended up 24 hours later back in the ICU with 60 pounds of fluid on my legs and everywhere. I just blew up. And that was the hardest time. I had to make amends with my maker, and that's when I said I was never going to let another living soul go through the process of being thrown away and just being ignored. And so I started the foundation 6 weeks later.
Right. And how did you come up with the name?
Because the world is so big, but yet it is so small. And there are so many people out there suffering in silence, and like I did, thinking you're the only human being on earth that's going through this, yet you're not. Being ignored, being told that this pain is not real, being told that you're insane, and it's no way is that true. And the best thing I can honestly tell you is when I have another person that has gone through this, and I've gone through 23 surgeries, and a few more organs removed, and when I can actually hug them and tell them that it's going to be okay, that's the best gift.
Yeah. And now you brought to the studio, you have a husband out there that loves you beyond words because he's been by your side through all of this from when this actually began.
Yes.
Right? So he's been through, you've been married 25 years and he's stuck by your side. And that, I mean, your husband right there. Dan, if you have to learn about being a really good husband, like when we get married and all that stuff.
There you go.
It's her husband. He has sat right by her side.
He's a great man. I met
Through
him.
everything. Yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, he's taken you to the hospital. I mean, you were a nurse. You were a surgical assistant or a nurse, and you had to leave your job because of all this. And now you're home. You can't work and stuff. And he has supported you 100%. So get your journal out.
Yes, I'll take some notes.
Yeah, take some notes sometime.
He's the best person in the world, best soul. And he's taken me at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning to the emergency room, stayed with me, taken me to New York to see different doctors, taken me all the way to Scranton, Pennsylvania. And he's an amazing person. And that's one of the other issues is with this disorder. It can destroy families. It can destroy. It can destroy families, and the family members will say, "Oh, you're just a hypochondriac," because they can't see. They can't see adhesions
Right.
on an X-ray,
Sure.
a CAT scan, MRI. The only way they can see this is through the telemetry of your body.
Right.
And it can cause so much problems with the husbands and wives for so many reasons. We couldn't have children. We tried for 10 years, and we tried with the in vitro, and they said it was possible, but the odds of me having a feeding tube in so many weeks and not being able to carry full and me possibly passing away, I didn't want to take that responsibility.
Yeah, no, that's
I didn't want to take that responsibility. So on every level, it's just amazing and very scary too. Very scary because the surgeons will tell you, or your general practitioners will tell you, oh, this is a minor procedure, hernia repair, gallbladder repair, and but it can turn out years later or even months later with this.
Yeah, now, you know what I wanted to say? Dan is obviously a musician. You heard him perform before.
Yes.
Can you give him a list of people you were telling me that have this? And nobody's, like you were saying, nobody's raising awareness about this.
We need to reach out to some of these people who actually have a following, like a Fran Drescher and some of these
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion has it, yeah.
No, she
And
had
Bill Clinton was it? Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton has it. President Reagan had it. And also Carol O'Connor had it, and Fran Drescher, of course, had it.
You'll be surprised how many more people have it.
But
aren't even aware of it because they're not being diagnosed correctly by their doctors. The medical community, as good as they are, many of them I think are changing now over time, but years ago they would tell you scar tissue does not hurt. That's impossible.
Right.
Right, and that's not true. I run her social media, and I see and I listen to these women and men too. It could be in the shoulder from an injury. It could be, it's very common among women with C-sections.
Yeah.
I've had 3 C-sections, and I am loaded with scar tissue. I don't experience the kind of pain that they have, but I've had other issues, and I've gone to doctors to the point they wanted to test it. So you know what, I'm done. I'm done playing the guessing game. I know what it is. I know it's scar tissue. But when you go in there to remove that scar tissue, you're going to create more scar tissue.
Yes.
So there's got to be some kind of research that needs to be done on how to dissolve the scar tissue without more surgery.
Yes.
That's really what it comes down to. And that takes money, that takes research, and that's why the World Adhesion Foundation needs to get funded and get government grants to help this research. Stony Brook, I believe, is willing to do some of this research, but like anything else, it takes money.
It takes money.
Is that the goal of your foundation, is to raise money?
Raise awareness.
Raise awareness
for research.
And raise money to hire a researcher to do this, because it's the body's own normal response to heal, but it's like an overhealing. And
it really attaches organs together.
Yeah.
You know, and that's extremely painful if you've never experienced it. So it's a filmy substance, and it's like you said, it's overhealing. So without getting the research to figure out how to get this done, so many people are suffering to the point they can't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
I mean, their value of life is diminished to nothing. It's affected husbands, wives, the children, the family, because nobody can see it.
Right, and then on top of it, I got to work in the medical profession. So I got to see the medicine as we see it now, developing. And being in the surgical end, you get to see different things and how everything is run. But being a patient and in the medical community and seeing it is like, wow. I mean, it's just incredible to watch it, and it's disgusting how we're being treated.
You know, I find it funny because I know they have a new, like a birth control, I think it's called E-Shore or something, where they purposely put the coils in the woman, in her, I think it's her fallopian tube. It creates scar tissue. So people know people know that scar tissue is going to grow. It's going to create blockages because they're actually utilizing it as a form of birth control.
And it
Right.
could be issues
So,
down the road.
mhm.
And the quality of life. So you
Right.
know, you gotta weigh your pros and cons. Is it worth it?
Sure.
And Genzyme Biosurgical is one of the companies that does make a product, and I have been flown out to Arizona and spoke 2 years ago at one of their meetings, to tell my story. But it's still, there's nothing really out there.
Because
Right.
not enough people are researching it.
Okay, so let's talk about your 5-year goal. Like, where are we going to see you guys next year, 2 years, 5 year? Where do you want to be? What can we help Dan and I help you by hosting this show? What can we help you with?
Almost.
Well, right now there's interns coming in as grant writers.
And researchers.
Okay.
Right.
So we'll be doing that.
We need people, we need awareness brought to
Mhm.
it so that when people go to their doctors, instead of saying, I have this pain, and the doctor says, well, it could be a gallbladder, it could be this, there's a possible elimination. Let them tell their doctors, I believe, or the doctor will be able to know, to say it's scar tissue. You know, a lot of doctors are not aware. We need awareness,
Well, they're aware of the scar tissue,
but they're not aware of the pain.
but they don't want it. It's like their dirty little secret. That's
I guess everybody has that.
That's their dirty little secret.
I'm sure you have the
Right.
They
right.
don't know what to do
Several.
with it. You know, it is the same that they don't know what to do for it. Not enough research has been done on it. So I'm not trying to condemn the medical community.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Right.
You know, we
We're-
need them.
we
but
have-
what can they do to help you other than
Right.
cut it out and create more?
Have you thought about contacting medical magazines or
Yes.
papers and asking them to write articles and raise awareness?
There is articles written.
There is.
Yes, I have been. Last year I was in the Pain Pathways magazine.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Yes, good,
Yeah.
excellent.
Pain Pathways magazine.
Okay, well, whatever we can do. I mean, I know we can air this show, and we'll Facebook this, Twitter it, and whatever you need.
Well,
We have to
a
cut.
Facebook page to share.
Yeah, just to
You know, the
yeah.
website is good to go to, but it's not something that you can actually just share. You know,
I'd love to
social
do.
media-
I'd love to do. A fundraiser. Our slogan is "Stick it to adhesion."
I love it. Thank you so much for the bracelet. We actually have to cut to a commercial right now. When we come back, we're going to finish talking, and Dan is going to end the show with one more song because I just have to have him sing. All right, enjoy the
It's
commercial.
wonderful. Yeah.
Hi guys, thanks for watching Madhouse TV. We're back, and we were just discussing the issue of adhesion and scar tissue and what we can do to kind of remedy that and make people aware. We talked a little bit about social media before. Where can we find some more information on the internet, and how can we help to kind of spread the word?
Mm-hmm.
Well, on Facebook, it's the WAF Foundation, World Adhesion Foundation. Just put it in the search bar. I believe there's 700 something members, and you can just hear some of these women and men what they suffer with. Share it, get the word out there because you may not know it. People don't discuss it.
Yeah.
So by sharing it, one of your friends, and so, oh my God, that's what I have. So that's the way of bringing awareness because people are your neighbors, your networkers, your co-hosts, and are going to say, oh, you know what, I'm suffering with adhesions. It's just something people aren't talking about. So when they see that, and they say, now they have a place that they can go to. They can share ideas, complain, vent, whatever it is they need to do. They want to be heard. So it is there on Facebook. LinkedIn, you can find her, Augusta, on LinkedIn as well. Any really social media outlet that can be pushed out there just to bring awareness is the main thing right now.
And the military, all our men and women are coming back from war with, injuries, and I feel so bad for them. And one thing I'd like to do is speak in front of Congress to get this, more awareness. I've worked with Senator LaValle. I've worked with Tim Bishop. Senator LaValle actually 4 years ago gave us a $10,000 grant. And so I'm out there in that way but we just need more.
It takes time.
It takes time. Yeah, it takes time.
I deal with it from a musical perspective in terms of getting the word out and social media, creating a buzz.
Yeah, that's cool. You can write our story.
Yeah, take it to Adhesion, you can call it.
It's a good idea.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, you have a great voice, and all you need is a guitar.
That's right.
Anyway, so we can find you on Facebook, we can find you on Twitter, we can find you on LinkedIn. And the name of your marketing company is what?
New York Introductions.
It's New York Introductions.
We're not a dating service. When I first started with that name, I had done a charity, and it was a singles event that we did to raise money for the Forgotten Friends of Long Island, which is for animals. And I happened to run this charity event, a singles event, at the same time I was starting the company name, so everybody affiliated that event and me after that as a dating service.
Okay, so when you go to New York Introductions, it's not a dating service if you're going to deal with Lorinda and the World Adhesion Foundation. Do you have a website also or just a Facebook?
No, we have a website.
It's worldadhesionfoundation.org. Worldadhesionfoundation.org. And again, Lorinda, not the dating service. Okay, Dan, you got that? It's New York Introduction. So we are going to cut to a quick commercial, and then when we come back, we're going to end the show with Dan Reardon singing another song. What song are you going to sing?
I'm going to sing On My Own, which is another song off the record.
It's On My Own. So and he doesn't need the introduction. So it's On My Own. So he's going to sing that. Welcome. When we come back next week, I have the recap of our phenomenal night with Vicky, Tom, and I. We spent Thursday night with the Mob Wives, with the Jerseylicious crew, with the Mama's Boys of the Bronx. It was just cappuccino, cannolis, and cigars the whole night, and it was enjoy commercials. If you'd like to sponsor my show, you can call 631-669-7999. I think it's taken me about 8 months. I think this is only the second time I got it right. So, yay. Anyway, we're back. Dan Reardon CDs, danreardonmusic.com, and check them out. Here, Dan is going to sing his new song.
Leave me on my own. Leave me on my own.
That was amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get up and walk now. Right on the camera. Thank you. So welcome. Thank you. Next week we'll see you. Paula Cigars will be here, and we have a couple extra surprises coming. So tune in next week to Rendezvous with Alicia right here on Madhouse TV at 11 a.m. You never know what is going to happen at the Madhouse. Enjoy.